Adversity, challenge, or circumstance you may be faced with today, your answer is found in the person of Jesus. Today, a grace revolution is sweeping across the globe because the person of Jesus is boldly preached, proclaimed, and lifted high. We are receiving testimony after testimony about how people's lives have been touched and transformed by the grace of God. Many are finding freedom from their long-term conditions, addictions, and bondages. They share joyfully with us how the Lord supernaturally delivered them from panic attacks, substance abuse, and decades of depression. Others write in brimming with thanksgiving because God has restored their marriages and their relationships with their estranged children and healed their bodies when doctors had given them no hope. I wish I could read all of them to you, because you will notice that one common thread is woven through all these letters. One common denominator took these people from defeat into victory, from breakdowns into breakthroughs. They all had an encounter with Jesus. They all caught a revelation of His grace. The power of an encounter with Jesus. Dean from Maryland wrote to me to share how his life was transformed by the goodness of God. He said, "Dear Pastor Prince, it brings me so much excitement to share with you the radical change in my life in the last year. I have been watching your television program for a solid year now and read Destined to Reign, Unmerited Favor, and just finished The Power of Right Believing. It's 1,000 pages of one message. Grace. I don't know how I ever missed it all these years. Your teaching on grace and truth has been so revolutionary to me, and I want to thank you personally." In the 12 pages that followed, Dean shared with me the story of his life and how the Lord had transformed him. When he found out at age 12 that he had been adopted, he began a lifelong battle with feelings of rejection, abandonment, inadequacy, and fear. He even contemplated suicide and started to believe that life was not worth living. In his teen years, he started mixing with all the wrong people and developed several addictions. Quote, "At 14, I began drinking on weekends. At 15, I was smoking weed, and I was taking cocaine when I was about 16. By 17, I was without doubt bound with addictions and in flat-out rebellion against God and man." The older he got, the more Dean intensified his drinking and drug use to numb his pain and confusion. He spiraled out of control and lost all respect for authority figures in his life. Just before his 18th birthday, he was arrested for driving while intoxicated. To make matters worse, he discovered methamphetamine, after he got married. Recounting that part of his life, he shared with me, "Up to that time, I had no idea of its destructive and demonic power. At first, it was great, as it seemed to take away all my pain, the depression, oppression, rejection, inadequacies, loneliness, and fear. It even curbed my drunkenness. I developed confidence and a feeling of being in complete control. I thought I had found the cure, and I never wanted to be without it. So I continued taking meth for the next 9 years and started dealing small amounts to feed my habit. I got caught, had my first felony drug conviction, and had my first trip to prison rehabilitation for 120 days. Following his first imprisonment, Dean continued to struggle to find peace and answers, and went through many ups and downs while heading in and out of prison. Dean's turnaround happened only when he began to hear about God's grace. He realized that, quote, "Grace was not about what I deserved, but all about the Lord's love and the unearned, unmerited favor that He gives freely without demanding anything." This revelation simply blew his mind, especially since he was full of guilt over the damage he had done to everyone in his life. It was the light that shone into his darkness and the start of his liberation. Simply put,
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.